talk to you about mental empowerment now. Here in the nation, of course, we know that there are some groups of people who are out there empowering people. They dedicated their lives. They're helping you achieve the highest order of your mental capabilities. We're going to find out just what it's like to work in that line.
And this MNZ Empowerment Center has been around for 5 years, and the one in KL is based in Bukit Bintang. And we're going to talk more about this and how we could increase or enhance our mental capabilities and empower our minds from our guest for today.
That's right. Let's bring on our guest for today. She's the principal trainer of MNZ Empowerment Center, Mushida Said. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. First of all, let's get into the prequel of MNZ. And find out how you got started.
Okay. Actually, I didn't really start off as a trainer. I was always in business, all right? And I was doing event management before for more than 13 years. All right. What happened was, can you remember 2001, what happened at that time?
Well, not really.
Oh.
I was overseas.
And then there was SARS, right? So at that point in time, my business went down really bad for the turning.
I see.
And I was struggling. I was trying to find out how can I actually increase my business better. So I got a lot into self-development courses and learning how to actually overcome all these hurdles that I'm facing in my life. And from there, that was when I realized a lot of things. It's not about the skills that I know, but it's a lot about myself. You know, how when I change myself internally, everything around me changes. Yeah, and then from that, I wanted to share that with the world. So I started with one-on-one, helping people when they were complaining to me, I couldn't get a job. I feel I have no choice. I got no money. What am I supposed to do? So I started with a little bit of coaching, how to do that, and then help them transform in terms of directions that they want to take in their lives. Yeah.
Is it somehow similar to being a life coach?
It is actually being a life coach. Yes. Being a life coach is you have a whole system of how to actually help other people, overcome some hurdles and help them to lead where they want to go.
But this time around, you are actually just handling the whole class per se, or like a session.
Yes, I also do training as well as coaching. So when it comes to training, it's a class of 10, 15 people. The biggest class I've had was 50 people in one class. Yeah, and it was in a government board. Yeah.
Wow. So tell us, how are your programs different from other training companies?
Yeah.
What we do is we focus on the 4 main aspects, which is the body, mind, heart, and spirit. I would say most of the courses that I have actually gone through is mostly to focus on the body and the mind. All right, where they tell us the skills, what you must do, how to make yourself positive. But what I learned, because I went through that process myself, I said, how can I be positive when everything else around me is so negative? So when I got deeper and I learned some more, and I found out that you know how it is. We all have a body, right? What affects our body is our mind. All right. When you think positive, your whole your body language, everything else becomes different. All right. But what else controls your mind? It's actually your heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our feelings.
Heart. Yes, your feelings. When you give love and you receive love, automatically your mind becomes positive, right? But what else affects our heart? Because a lot of times people feel so much frustration and anger inside of them. It's actually their spirit. When they don't know what their purpose is in life, sometimes they don't know what their legacy, what is their purpose here in life.
They feel lost.
They feel lost. And that is when they don't give love. They don't feel they don't receive love. So we help to clear right from the beginning, and then after that we teach them the skills how to go to where they want to go.
And at times they are already having full education, maybe until they have a degree. They're already working, having a good job, maybe having a house, a car, but they still somehow feel lost. Right?
Yes, exactly. And that's what we say. Some people on the outside, they look so beautiful. And you say, they have a beautiful house and then a big house.
And somehow they still feel lost and insecure.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so how do you help to overcome that? Maybe just try to address their problems?
No, we can't just address the problem. It's actually inside of them. So we go from body, we address the body, we address the mind, their state of mind, and let them understand about how to empower their mind, how to change their mindset. Then we go into their heart, how to remember how you feel love when you were young, when you're as a baby, as a baby, all of us felt love. You hold a baby and you already feel love, all right? And then we go into the spirit, which goes
like a psychologist.
It goes into the forgiveness aspect and get into your gratitude.
We've got a call on the line who we've not heard from in a while. Mr. Munusami from Telok Intan. Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Munusami Nagapillai.
Good morning.
Yes. Go ahead, sir.
good morning.
Good morning.
I want to know, yes, sure. I want to know about this mental. You see, I've been experienced. The people around me will move to take something. So if I feel I want to eat a piece of cake, people around there, one or two will move first to get the cake, particular cake only. But there are so many other cakes and also one day murukku and all. But the person picks up. So I've been noticing why when I think he can take it that particular stuff.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I think we.
Hello, I want to know. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, about the thoughts, angels carried off.
Okay. Well, we're gonna try and answer your question. We're gonna try and answer your question. Maybe it's a sheep mentality that he's talking about. When you reach for something, everybody else reaches for the same thing.
Yeah.
Is that human behavior?
Yes, it is human behavior. Yeah, because sometimes I play games in my training sessions where I make, I throw something which is totally shocking that they don't expect, and then it takes some time for one person to just take action, even though it sounds good.
Right.
Right?
And everybody else follows.
No, nobody else follows. They will be like waiting until somebody comes out and they actually do it, and then they were like, oh, I should have done that. Sometimes I wave money,
Right.
and then like, who wants this, right? And then nobody comes out because they're like, what's the catch? And
So you started off by training maybe a number of people who are already working and all that. What about in terms of families, teenagers?
yes, we have actually done training for teenagers.
Right.
And for the last year, actually, I was doing more on prison inmates. Yeah. And when you address the issues that they all face, it's the same as everybody. Training CEOs, training housewives, training single mothers, training teenagers. We are all human beings, and the process is basically still the same. Only the stories are different. Yeah.
But it must be interesting though, training
Yeah.
prison inmates, because we were just talking about people with jobs, degrees, cars, and money, and they have a set of problems.
That's right.
The same applies to people.
It's a social stigma, by the way.
Who've obviously lost it all. I mean, they're in prison.
Yeah.
So how different is that experience for you?
Actually, again, the words that people use, I have no choice. I don't know what to do. If I don't do this, my family will not eat. It's a lot to do with mentality, and it happens to everybody outside as well.
Right.
The thought of I have no choice, or if I don't do this, I will die. Actually, all of us has a choice. Once you open your mindset a little bit, there's a lot of opportunities that you can actually see. But most of us we see the problem instead of the solutions. Right. So again, when I go through the process, and I'll tell them my story. I'm very open with telling my story about how my business went down and how I picked myself up, because I also went into depression and all that.
Yep.
And some of them were saying, I had a guy tell me, ma'am, your business went down and you got married and you are here. My business went down and I'm here, in prison.
In jail.
Yes, because, and then he kept repeating that over, and it's a processing
It's
thing.
like a mindset already.
Yeah, he's already
ingrained.
processing the difference.
Right.
And a lot of times also it's like what we think about ourselves as well, because I've also had one experience with a guy. He's got tattoos all over his body and his face.
Okay.
And he was, I made them write down what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and all that, where we're going to go after this. And he couldn't write any strength at all. He said, no, my mother tell me I'm very, very fierce. I'm very hot-tempered. What are your good things? What did people tell you about you are good at? Oh, I'm good at fighting. That sort of thing. So, after we go, I just let that be for a while. Then we go through the process of forgiveness and gratitude. Of course, it's not immediately. We have to go through a process.
Yeah.
And after that, I told him to write again. Divide your life in 3 parts. Let's say he's 30, 0 to 10. What have you accomplished in your life? 10 to 20, what have you accomplished? 20 to 30. And you know what is the most amazing thing? Most of them, they can remember after, in the early stages of their life. In primary school, they won reading competitions, they were good at sports, and somehow maybe during secondary school, they mixed with the wrong crowd and everything was downhill, but they don't remember what they have achieved.
I see.
And from that, I said, what made you remember all that? When you release the initial baggages that you are carrying, right? You can tap on your strengths. Yeah.
How do you manage to empower the minds of the prison inmates, though? I mean, did you give them basically hope that they could change their lives after after going out of prison?
Yes,
per se?
definitely, definitely. We have to also let them know about how the mindset of the hurts that we were talking about just now, the mindset of the hurt outside, how society may perceive them. But of course, we do need to educate the society on accepting, giving them jobs. Don't isolate them at family functions. Don't gossip about them. If they can't find jobs, help them find jobs. What else can we do to help instead of condemning and complaining about them? But inside the prison, I also made them aware of what the mentality of the people are. And I tell them my story with the time when I'm down and I'm going up again. Sometimes you hear a lot of people talking down to you. Like, how come you don't have money? Why don't you go and do something? That sort of thing. So when I tell them my story, and as long as they are aware, they will refocus back on their purpose. They say, okay, I know that sometimes you cannot please everybody, but as long as I know where I'm going to go, right, then that will also lead them to where they.
So how can people get